take the thumbnail for like 5 minutes. It's so difficult. Hey guys, so my name is Greta Bereisaite. I'm dating and relationship coach for women. For the awesome high, let me just fix this. For the awesome high value woman secrets, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And today I'm gonna do a Christmas Q&A. Well, it's not really like this. It's actually the actual Christmas are coming on Friday, although it doesn't feel like that at all. So we're gonna do a Christmas Q&A today, and you guys feel free to ask me any questions that you like, towards dating and relationships. As I named my video, we're gonna call it Best Relationship Advice. So, girls, just fire up. And I will try and look at your questions on my screen actually, but I'm not sure how to do that, if I'm totally honest. I always look. Oh, yeah, it says Greta is live. Fantastic. Greta is live. I can see myself live. A bit weird, but it's okay. And now I just need to somehow. Oh, here it is. Okay, I should be able to see you here like this. Can I make this bigger? No, but it's fine. Okay, cool. Hey everyone. Okay, perfect. So you ladies fire up with your questions and I will be able to see them on my screen, and we'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, so hi everyone. Hi Sveta. Hi Katarzyna. Hi, good morning everyone. How is everyone doing today? Couple days ago, I had like a thought going through my mind. And it's about girls who kind of find really, really hard. Actually, I'll turn this off. It's too weird. I'll just do it like this. I can't, like, I see myself two times. It's once is enough. Anyway, so I was thinking recently, like, there are a lot of women that I coached who have a lot of problems at becoming high value. We find it very, very hard. And I know so many ladies who take, let's say, longer than a year just to apply the basics. The basics such as just setting in a boundary or, letting a toxic guy go. Well, I mean, letting a man go, that's not very easy, but it's like if you value and respect yourself, it is much easier to do, right? And as I've been coaching so many girls, I realized that the girls who find it the hardest to apply the high value woman strategies and just to have the self-love, self-respect, and show it in an appropriate way are the ones who have abandonment issues, who feel like they are unworthy of love, and these abandonment issues for majority of them came from when we were little, and let's say the dad, for example, left the family, he walked out and never came back, or just the parents broke up, or the girl was raised by a single mom. So it's really, really difficult to coach these girls, and obviously we do the best that we can, but if you are somebody who has a lot of abandonment issues and you feel like you are unworthy of love, I would recommend first, before trying or doing the high value woman strategies, to get a therapist, so it digs deep into your issues. Because, like, ladies, I help with dating and relationship advice, but I don't dig deep into your issues that you had as a child. So for example, I might tell you things like, okay, he mistreated you, you need to set in a boundary. He he has been rude, you need to ignore his text, because why would you reply to something that's unacceptable? Why would you reward the negativity? If he's abusing you, you need to have self-love and self-respect to walk out. Because if you don't, you're showing him with your action that it's okay for him to treat you this way. So for women who have a lot of who know their worth. I wouldn't say for women who even have like a lot of self-love and who feel kind of arrogant and egotistic or something, nothing like that. Just a woman who knows that she's a valuable human being, same as everyone else is. For her, it's easy to set these boundaries. It's like for example, when I started to applying these techniques, for me it was so easy because I was raised in such a way that you are very, very valuable, you are, great, you are good, and so on and so on. I just didn't know these techniques, I didn't know these strategies. So when I started to apply them, for me it was very easy. Within a couple of months, I was like, bring it on, jumping, through the hoops. But as I'm coaching many girls, I can see that for many, not majority, but for many of them, it's very, very hard. And when we dig deeper, it's all about, comes down to family issues, abandonment. Let's say the dad left, and as a child, she thought the dad left because the girl was unworthy or not, unlovable or something like that. And then you grow up as a person, you take all of these issues with you, and then it's really, really hard in life. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you girls getting their therapist if you are in that place first before applying any kind of strategies like this. All right, so and for guys, actually, if you guys are watching and you think it's cool to kind of sleep around and like have babies before marriage and have kids with lots of women because it's so cool and you can do whatever you want with your life. Well, life is not just about you and you fulfilling your own desires or your own needs, or I would say not even needs, your own wants or your own feels. Life is about doing the right thing rather than doing whatever you want to do, because it's not all just about you when it comes to another person, another human being. When it comes to, there is so much more to it. And, these things have massive consequences, maybe not to you, but to people around you. And, like I would really encourage everyone not to be so selfish this Christmas. Okay, so let's see your questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're all very sweet. How to end a relationship with a guy who is nice and I consider he much as a friend? I think just be honest and just do it. The sooner you do it, the more you will save his time. Like the worst thing is to kind of drag somebody around and waste their time. Just do it in a nice way, you know whichever way you prefer, phone, text. I don't see anything wrong ending a relationship over text, because a lot of times like you're ready to let go but you're so scared of the other person's reaction sometimes that like you might change your decision for like a week or two because we are kind of begging you back. And so I actually personally don't think anything is wrong to even end it over text. Just be nice and polite. You helped me a lot getting out of my toxic relationship. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. This is another topic that I wanted quickly to mention. People who are attracted to other toxic people, it's not, ladies, it's not because, oh, poor you, and these guys are coming. How do I always attract toxic guys? A lot of girls like, oh, I always attract these toxic guys. You attract these toxic guys. We all attract all kinds of guys. I attract cool guys, I attract toxic guys, I attract all kinds of guys, right? Like everyone will approach you, but it's who you choose from these guys. So if you from all of these guys are choosing the toxic guys, is because somehow you're bonding to them, you're relating to them, you're on the same page. So you actually end up being in a relationship with these toxic guys because you yourself are bonding with them through your own toxicity. So if you do not want to attract the toxic guys, you kind of have to not be able to relate to them anymore, because the red flags are always there. The red flags are always showing like one way or another. So if you choose to ignore it, or sometimes we even find them funny. Oh, he, like left me hanging. Ha ha ha, cheeky monkey. Like you think you can do that? I'll do it back. You're getting involved, you're kind of letting go of toxicity, you're ignoring the red flags, you're letting go of, you're ignoring the disrespect, and sometimes you even find it fun and get involved, and then here you go, like couple months later you're involved with a guy and you're in a toxic relationship, and it's just going down the hill. So the best way to let go of toxic guys is to improve yourself so much that you do not relate to toxicity anymore. And when the toxic guy approaches you, you see the red flags and you don't relate to it anymore. So you go like, okay, been there, done that. I'm not above it, but I'm over it, and that's how you let go of the toxic ones. My boyfriend said I have a toxic attention needs. After he disappeared for a day and I needed his attention, I said to him that I'm sad and that I wanted a little bit of his attention when I needed it. Okay, so I think, ladies, I think we all get sad, and, we all sometimes feel lonely, or, we all have these moments, and it's normal to feel that way. But other people have a life too. So try not to put your lonely or sad needs on other people, especially someone like a guy. If you're dating somebody and it's the beginning, you kind of want to be the best version of yourself. So if I would be sad, I would try to distract myself rather than go for to someone else for to make them happy. No one else can make you happy but you. And a lot of times we do feel like we are missing that piece. And I believe that that piece is God. But overall, you should be in charge of your own happiness. Yet at the same time, saying that, I think, when all these kind of like life coach gurus are saying it's all about you making yourself happy, all about you making yourself happy, yes and no, because if it's all about me always being happy by myself, you can fall into that trap that, oh, I'm so independent, I don't need anyone. And that's not the way to live a life either. So I think it's important to know how to distract yourself from sadness, how to make yourself happy. And at the same time, it's good to have friends. And when you're sad or you want to share, the best people to go to are your female friends, because these are the women that you can talk to, share, vent, be on and on and on about your life story, another life story, 10 life stories before that, and we will support you, we will understand you, and we will give you what you need, because only another woman can understand fully what another woman needs. A man doesn't get that. We are two different species. We are here to complement each other. So when you're coming to him to vent, he may not even get it. He'll be like, okay, what's going on? She's wasting my time, or why she can't just get over it. You might want to share something that you're feeling sad, and he's, instead of listening to you and going like, this, which is what you actually need, he might just be like, okay, well, here is the solution, and go and do my solution and get over it, and this is a lot of times not what we need as women. So I would recommend to go to the other girls when you're feeling sad. And if you are not okay, then a guy doesn't text you for a day or two, then yes, you are quite needy. And, like you do need quite a lot of attention. And keep it in mind, ladies, when a guy doesn't have any space from you, like a day, 2, 3 days, this is when he can actually fall out of love with you. In order for a man to feel his love for you, he must have space from you. And actually during that period of space and you guys not being in contact, this is when he realizes his feelings for you. This is when, like, after a couple days of having no space, or 3 or even 4 days, like having no contact, 3 or 4 days later, he'll be like, okay, look, I actually miss Greta. Like, I actually think about her a lot. I think I have feelings for her. This is how it works. But when you're with them all the time, it gets too much. His testosterone level drops and it doesn't even have a time to go back up again. And actually, for this, if you girls want like the kind of scientific explanation behind it, about the differences between men and women, I have an incredible video with Dr. John Gray, and he really breaks down everything in there, like in total detail. Hi Greta, how can I navigate the dating scene as a high earner woman in my early 30s? I am unable to feel attracted to men who aren't equally successful. Tired of bumping into broken single dads on apps. Um, it's really interesting. Um, I think, well, there are obviously when you earn quite a lot of money, or when you're quite, successful as a woman, it's really interesting because you do have all the options, like actually you have more options. You have much more options. You have many more men approaching you when you're successful, because the successful guys will see you inspiring and they will see you as on their level, so they will be more willing to approach you. I don't know in other countries, but I know in UK it's definitely like that. And you will have guys approaching you who don't earn as much. So at the end of the day, you will have more options. But I think as a woman, even though you have all these options, the options that are good for you, in my opinion, are men who earn at least as much as you or above. And the reasons are because, first of all, if you are looking to date somebody, or you're looking towards the future, for a man, one of the guys needs is respect, right? A woman needs to respect him. Respect is really big for a man. Now, if you are a successful woman and he is not as successful, or he's just like starting, or maybe he's even a lazy bum, how are you going to respect him? I personally cannot imagine myself with a guy who is, like, you need to be on my level. Because, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, it's just I personally always feel that I want to be inspired by a man. Like, you need to be in front, or we need to go like together at the same pace. If you are behind, I just don't have, I just cannot give the amount of respect to that guy as much as he needs. So he's not going to be happy dating me, and I'm not going to be happy dating him. So I personally believe when you're successful, you need somebody. As who said it? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said it in a very nice way. He said it, this girl asked him a question, and she said, well, like this guy, he doesn't have that much money, and and I'm wealthy, and blah blah blah. And he basically said, well, if he wants to play in your playground, he needs to step it up, or he shouldn't be playing in your playground. So that's how I see things. But yes, of course, when in your mind, even though you have all these options, in your mind, the options will definitely narrow down, because now you're kind of looking at guys who are on your level or above, rather than at everyone, even though everyone will be coming after you. And this is really interesting. Ladies, now I live outside of London, and I can see it's definitely different. In London, there is like so much choice. Like it's insane. When you're outside of London, you can start to kind of see more, maybe reality of like lots of families and so on. So I do understand that for a lot of you who live, outside of big cities, the choices like get smaller, and you get a lot of kind of single dads and so on, So yeah, big cities are a different story. Big cities are a very different story. What I would say, like, I'm a huge believer in God, and I never settled for less than I think I deserved. I never like, it just never, just not my thing. Um, and I always kind of had what I wanted, and what I wanted always has been the one approaching me and chasing me. And yeah, so I personally believe when you wait it out and you don't settle for less, these opportunities will be put on your plate. You just need to be patient and have the strength to wait it out, not be desperate. Like keep yourself busy, keep yourself entertained. And I actually have a very inspiring thing to share, which kind of like yeah, really inspiring thing to share. But let me answer more of your questions, because it's a bit like what I read in the Bible, so I'm not sure to kind of share it or not just yet. If you want me to, let me know. It's about single women and widows, so and it's very positive and just beautiful. Okay, anyway, let me answer more questions. What is the best advice for dating with an emotionally unavailable man? He shows interest, and it's very nice to me, but everything goes very slowly. You know what? It's not always emotionally unavailable when things go slow. And I'm actually a huge believer in things going slow, because when things go slow, you can really get to know the person before actually jumping into something too serious. Because when you when you get into a relationship after a month or couple of months, because you're so attracted to each other and you're so high value, so he's just like trying to trap you. After a while, you will see things, in a guy that you're like, if I knew this like a few months ago, I'm not sure would I have signed up for this kind of relationship. So taking things slow, I think that's the wisest option. Taking your time and getting to know each other and taking things slow. And I know lots of couples who actually been friends for like a year. Well, friends in a way, like they've been dating and talking and so on. And, the guy was kind of playing all of these games. So I want you, I don't want you, I want you, I don't want you. But the girl was always like, we are friends, we are friends. After 1 year, eventually we got into a relationship, and they are a fantastic couple. And I know lots of, couples like that. So stay taking slow, I think it's the wisest way, to be honest. I know it's annoying sometimes, especially if you're kind of like in a bit of a desperate situation that you really want that relationship, or maybe you're seeing a relationship as something magical and incredible, and you have like this fantasy about it. But the reality is you want to get into a relationship with like a real human being, not a fantasy behind that guy. In the first couple of months, especially if you live again in big cities, even in small cities, because of YouTube, there are so many games, bad guys play, how to charm a woman, how to put his best foot forward, and so on. So it's like you can't really get to know a person until you're actually meeting each other face to face, for at least couple of months, at least couple of months. And ladies, I'm talking about face to face, not online talking. When guys talk online, like like it's not real. I don't like, if you have not met a person and you're talking online and you're bonding, that's cool, that's fun, but look at it like, okay, it brightened up my day. I'm happier maybe today, maybe he made me laugh or something, but don't take these things seriously. Don't take these things seriously. Take guys seriously only that you met them in person for a long period of time, not something that you're chatting with someone online all day long and now he's your boyfriend and you have this fantasy about him. Let's see here. Greta, please answer. My boyfriend fights over small things. What should I do as high value woman love from India? It depends what type of small things. Some guys like to argue. I personally been I'll tell you my own story. I actually been on a date couple with this guy a couple times, and there was like so much chemistry. It was so nice. When you're like you meet and he's like he looks like your type, and there's chemistry, and he seems kind of smart. Sorry. Um, and he was trying to argue all the time, and he was telling me, well, we get on so well, and I said, well, we kind of argue all the time. And I said, you're arguing all the time. Like, what do you mean we get on well? And he said, this is how I am. Well, he just said, well, Greta, this is just how I am. And I was like, ooh, oopsie, can do this. Not my style, not my thing. Like, no way. Thank you, next. It was difficult, but you kind of gotta let go of, gotta do the right thing. It's not a match, it's not a match. Can tears be manipulative? Yes. Whenever I pull away, he used to cry and say guilt-tripping things. What threw me off was that he never came across as weepy type. Tears can be manipulative. I don't think I myself have ever experienced guy like crying and like, because it's not my type of guys. Um, But I know lots of girls who have been manipulated by men crying. And I personally don't find guys that cry attractive. It turns me off. So I think maybe that's why I just never date a guy who cries. Um, and that's why I don't have experience with that, because like we just don't cry ever, or like it's different. Um, but I have friends who had this, and one guy was basically pure narcissist, just pure manipulation on every step that he was taking, and he was crying for hours and hours, and it was pretty bad. And at the same time, he was cheating, and like it was pretty bad. So yes, it can, like tears can be manipulative behavior from some guys, but majority of guys don't do that. From all the clients that I coached, if he's crying, if he's upset, usually it's genuine, but there are like 1 or 2%, I would say, not, I wouldn't say more than that, but actually cry with manipulation. But this is what you're describing here. It sounds like he's just really victimizing himself a lot. And to me, it just sounds like he needs personal development. And maybe what he's doing is he is trying to make you into his own source of happiness, so he's relying on you to make him happy, which should never be the case. It's needy people, like same as we have needy, insecure women, desperate women, same we have, needy, insecure, desperate guys. And these type of people need to work on themselves before we even look for a relationship. Because if you are needy, desperate, insecure, you get into a relationship with a guy, he's very likely gonna be needy, desperate, insecure. So now you're in a toxic relationship with another guy where you should not be in a relationship at all, because first you should be trying to work on yourself and sort out your issues. And then, you can be open for a relationship. So you can have a healthy, good, you know, relationship that actually brings you happiness rather than sorrow. And the thing about men not crying, I think my dad has only cried twice, and both times it was related to it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it's cute. Like, I mean, okay, this is very mean of me to say it's cute. Okay, let's just leave the topic of men crying. What do you do if your longtime crush after a few years asks you out? You go out with him. If he's your crush, you go out with him. What's wrong with that? You go out with him. What's going on here? Someone's crying. Greta, what do you do if your longtime crush after a few years shows interest in you? That's great. Why are you crying? For God's sake, answer me. Okay, if I would have read this first, I probably would have not answered you. Anyway, let him ask you out, make sure it's in advance, let him confirm the date and go with him on that date and enjoy yourself and have fun. Try not to wear your heart on a sleeve. Try not to share like your whole life story. More like go on a date. When you go on a date, like literally have fun with the guy. Have fun. You can share some things about yourself, but the focus should be having fun together, because when you have fun together, you're actually creating new memories. But when you share a life story, like it gets boring, you become an open book, and you're not really creating anything special, So, yeah, and finish the date first. Okay, that's a very good tip. Finish the date first. Whoever finishes the date first has a bit of an upper hand. Keep it saying that a lot of men know this trick, and I heard so many stories where the guy calls the girl, right? And because he knows this trick of like getting off the call first or finishing the date first, literally after 30 seconds, he's like, I have to go, I have to go, I have to go, just to have that upper hand, which is so silly and just totally hilarious because it just looks ridiculous. But yeah, finishing the things first, date, phone call, getting out of messages first, you kind gives you an upper hand. Keep it in mind again that majority of people know this trick. How to deal with jealous people, especially when someone make you become a joke in front of a group. Call them out. Can you call her out if somebody makes you a joke? Like you think it's, call it out. If you can call them out on it. So maybe write, if you're not quick at calling people out like that, then maybe write down some things in your own spare time, like how to kind of call people out. You could say like, excuse me, that's very disrespectful, or, like at least something like that. Or you could banter back. If you're quick witted and they said something to you, you can turn it around. Like, for example, if somebody says, oh, I would never, like, if you were my husband, I would poison you, right? So you're kind of making fun of the other person, let's say in front of everybody. If you were my husband, and it's someone else is saying, and I really forgot who it came from. It's from somebody really famous. But it's like if you're in front of everyone and this girl says, if you were my husband, I would poison you. The guy says back, if you were my wife, I would drink it, right? So you can, if you're quick with these things, you can give a comeback, and when that person is kind of put in their place in a way that you don't look offended, if you are not quick with that, um, you could say that you're being disrespectful, like you're being disrespectful. And if you feel after that uncomfortable, you can leave a party. But being sharp a lot of times gives you the upper hand in a way that people don't look at you, oh, she's easily offended, But at the other times, you kind of need to set in the boundaries. I would say call it out. If it's a group setting, it will show that you're not a pushover, for sure. It's like there is the right time and place for it. Like you don't have to do it every single time. Sometimes walking out is good, ignoring it is good, calling out, bantering back. So it's one of these, like depending on the situation. I often leave. If it would be disrespectful, I would leave as well. Like I don't have time for this. Exactly. If it's disrespectful, if it's something like, the thing with banter, like I personally love sarcasm and I'm quite playful and cheeky and I say a lot of kind of little digs, but I never say them in a mean way. I always like say it in a very light-hearted way. So when I say things in kind of like this in a light-hearted way, I kind of have like a cheeky grin or like I wink or, I show to the other person that like I'm warm, I'm kind, I'm just kind of teasing, I'm joking with you, right? So when you're kind of doing things this way, majority of time you just have fun with the other person. When you do things very bluntly and you dig straight to their insecurity, then it's nothing fun in here. That's pure disrespect and that's offending someone on purpose. That's different. No, you don't humiliate. That's disgusting. You don't humiliate anyone to the point of crying. That's a very low value behavior. When you're calling somebody out, you're doing it in a way to just to kind of sit in a boundary. Humiliating somebody, that's bullying, like there is no need for that. Okay, also, how do I reject guys I don't like without being okay? Let's do another question. You reject guys like, sorry, I'm not interested. You stop replying. Like girls, like guys are not that nice. When they are rejecting you, they ghost you or they say it's over. There is no need to kind of fluff it around. Like how you like I yeah. If you want to write, if it's a nice person and you've been talking for a long time and you feel bad because it's a nice person, then you can write like a longer message, like you're lovely, blah blah blah, and you can say but I don't feel like we are match or this or that, like just coming out in a nice way. I am on a long distance relationship with a guy who's in the army. When I go out, he always say, "Don't drink too much and have fun." But when one texts me all day, the next day, does this mean he's jealous or upset? I think a lot of men do that actually. I think he's kind of trying to set in a boundary. He's kind of like, I'm happy for you to be out, but you're not gonna get any attention from me tomorrow. Um, It could be a bit of jealousy for sure. It could be a little punishment as well. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. um or maybe he's just giving you space the next day, or it's kind of like it's a very common thing that guys do. Don't pay too much attention to it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't The key is not to freak out and not to start texting him. Like, let him still get in touch first. Any advice meeting organically rather than online now with COVID? No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. You can, well, ladies, when I went to London during COVID, it was not a lot. Well, it was like quite flexible, but it was coffee shops that were open, some restaurants. So many guys, oh, sorry, I should not do that. So many guys approached me on the streets. I never been approached on the street so much, literally running over, crossing the street to approach. And I was shocked, but I realized, okay, all the nightclubs are opened. Everything is, sorry, all the nightclubs are closed. Everything is closed. So we kind of don't have any other way. So this is why, you can literally go for a walk in central London and be like approached a lot actually, because that's what happens. So go out for a walk. Go out for a walk. Um, they can go to the bar, get drunk, and approach ladies. They go to the streets now. So go for a walk, take your dog. That's it. Greta, please talk about when a guy breadcrumbs you. Um, what do you want me to say about this? Like breadcrumbs. Like, there are so many things towards the breadcrumbing. Um, like sometimes they breadcrumb you because they have you as an option. What is breadcrumbs? Okay, cool. Breadcrumbs is like when a guy gives you like very little of attention, and he kind of gives it to you here and there. So then, for example, a guy will breadcrumb you when he doesn't have you as the option number one, right? When he doesn't have you as a priority, when maybe you are on as his like plan B, C, D, F, G, right? So he'll just kind of try and keep you like, stay with me while I still have my plan A, while I'm dating my plan A. So I'll still throw you like a little bone here and there. So you still think I'm interested in you, but I'm not really, but I'm just keeping you as an option because just in case things don't work out with my plan A. Girls do that all the time as well, right? So he'll breadcrumb you like that. The other times could be when you are dating somebody, and through the we like the dates, what we do, we make the dates fantastic. Let's say you have a boyfriend, and let's say you see him once or twice a week, and when you see him, it's fantastic. He's like charming, it's fun, you're like, wow, this is like the man of my dreams. But during the week, he doesn't text you much. He literally throws you a bone like a couple times a week, right? There are other times when all the guy does is just like, you know, throws you a bit of attention here and there, but doesn't really see you. Um, and then there are pullaways. So the pullaway is different, and pullaway is something that a man needs, and you should all learn how to be comfortable with pullaways, right? And if the guy never pulls away from you to the point that you're talking every single day, and there you don't have any days where you don't talk for a couple days or 3 days, it's a big problem. Because as I said before today, he can actually, without a pull away, he can fall out of love with you. Every single man needs man. I'm trying to be, anyway, every single man needs a pull away, right? And But the problem nowadays is that a lot of men are not aware that we need a pull away. So if you're gonna go to your boyfriend and ask him like, when are your pull aways? He's probably gonna have no clue what you're talking about because he's not aware of it. He just does it naturally. The pull aways usually happen after you guys have sex together, or maybe you talked a lot or you shared a lot emotional stuff, like for example, maybe you've been on a call and you told him your whole life story and it was deep and full on, and he was listening and you engaged, but the next couple of days you're not hearing from him. It's because he needs to pull away. So basically what happens with a pull away, the reason the guy needs to pull away because through spending time together, quality time, or kind of sexual time, his testosterone drops. And in order to bring it back up, he needs to not to be with you. So he needs to do his manly stuff, just basically distracted from you. And then his testosterone will go back up. And when it's up again, he's going to be back on your case, pursuing you again. So a pull away is different, like never compare pull aways with breadcrumbs. Also, if a guy is really busy, let's say maybe he's running a couple of businesses and so on, like it's very normal that he's not going to be texting you all day long. So if he texts you a message, one message a day, that's or couple messages a day, that should not be a problem because, people are, especially people who have a lot of going on, we are busy, there is no time. So he makes the time and effort to kind of engage with you and be with you when he's not running his business. So yeah, breadcrumbs are a tricky one. I think to understand, is he breadcrumbing you, is he not interested, or is he playing games, or is that just how he is? The best way to find out is like to talk to somebody, tell the story, and then we can kind of break it down for you which one it is. Breadcrumbs can be a game as well. Yeah. I personally really don't like word breadcrumbs because it does not give any kind of explanation, and a lot of times it's really misused. When you say, oh, he's not putting me as a priority, you understand what's happening, right? There is someone else that he's putting as a priority. When you say it's a pull away, you understand it's a pull away. When you say, okay, he's dating me and sweeping me off my feet when we meet, but he doesn't text me as much through the week, it could be that he's busy, or it could be that he's playing a game called hot and cold, right? So hot, when you're together, you sweep a girl off your feet, and when you're not in touch with her, so you give her coldness. So, people fall in love the most then you, and I wouldn't say it's very healthy, but usually when you experience a lot of pain and pleasure, that is when it's really hard to leave the relationship. It's kind of toxic, but at the same time, like pain makes you feel. When you experience pain, you get in touch with your feelings. When you experience pleasure, you again in touch with your feelings. So the reason that hot and cold works, when you give somebody pain through being cold, like we panicking, we wondering why is he not texting, what's happening, so we experiencing these feelings. And when he's hot again, you're like, oh, okay, everything's okay. He's like crazy about me. Okay, it's good. And when you're experiencing other feelings, so you're the love is quite big. Is it a healthy love? That's a question, but that's why hot and cold kind of works. I personally think that, like I personally I like a full-on attention. And it does not turn me on. I really like it. But at the same time, yeah, there has to be, you just have to be a healthy relationship. Yeah. Okay. Right, let's see this one. If a guy is treating you well, then you are high value. Is it okay to be softer with your behavior, or should I still be rigid with my behavior and boundaries? High value is never rigid with your behavior or boundaries. I don't know where did you get it from that you should be rigid. Like that's not high value. you know? You should always be you should, okay. It's not about being soft or polite. It's about being yourself, right? If you are a kind, soft, sweet person, you can be a kind, soft, sweet person with boundaries. All right. So if you're super sweet and he is not, then obviously you're trying to please him. That's not going to work. But you can still be kind and sweet in ways that you're not overgiving, you're not trying to please, and you're respecting and valuing yourself, and you have your boundaries. If you are a bit kind of sharp, like, let's say, a strong person, right? Like, everything's black and white and so on, and it is your personality, it is what it is. And, like, a lot of people find it very attractive. And, when you have boundaries and self-respect, all good. Not every guy likes a really sweet, kind, and, like, gentle girl. Like, some guys do like a bit of black and white. I mean, a strong kind of personality. Um, I personally, like, obviously I'm straight, right? But I personally like listening to strong women because it their energy is so strong that it gives me energy. Like, I like, for example, watching men. I prefer watching men on YouTube because I'm quite soft. So, like, because we're so strong, it gives me that energy. I'm like, okay, like, I feel like I have enough of energy to kind of go for my stuff. So, but because I'm quite soft, if I listen to another soft girl, I'm like, no, I can't. It's just, it, it's not nice because now I feel like, okay, I'm kind of like blah, you know? So, yeah. Um, let's see what I have not answered yet. Why do men criticize, and how should a high value woman react? People criticize in general, not just men. A lot of people criticize because we feel insecure, maybe because we want to belittle you, or we do try to help. If it's constructive criticism and he's really trying to help you and he tells you, like, don't do it this way, do it this way, and because it will help, and so on and so on, and he's doing it in a kind way, well, that's a very healthy criticism, and this is the criticism that we all should be thankful for. I love it when people criticize my business and then tell me the ways how to change it. Fantastic. Please do it more. Tell me my mistakes so I can improve these things. But I cannot stand it when people belittle me. You're like, okay, you belittle me, and then, so it depends on criticism. Some is healthy, some is not. If it's because someone's jealous or insecure and we are belittling you, or we think that you're not going to make it because we have a lot of insecurities themselves and we never been successful themselves, or, like, or whichever else, then we're going to be jealous and put their insecurities onto you. The key is actually, ladies, here is a really good tip. um, when people criticize you or belittle you, or when we are nasty or rude to you or unkind, never, like, try and be calm to these people. Try and be calm, and I would even say, like, polite, or not, maybe not kind, but just calm to these people, because people who come to you with a lot of criticism, toxicity, belittling you, like being saying nasty stuff, all of that, these are people who need help the most. Like, it's, if you have so much anger in yourself, so many insecurities, so much hate, and, like, and you're trying to kind of belittle me with all your hate, like, it's, you are who is the problem. You're the problem, not me. If I have done something wrong and you're coming to me and you're dealing with this in a helpful way. There is a lot of very healthy ways to help somebody who has a problem about criticizing, being toxic, or belittling them, and then the help will be appreciated. But if you're coming to me with all this nastiness, the problem is you. And whatever nasty thing you're going to tell me, I'm not going to take it personally because why should I? Like, I'm not like, you should not look for validation or reassurance from somebody who doesn't have it themselves, from somebody who is toxic. It doesn't make sense. So when people belittle me or are nasty to me, I never take it personally. I always think like, oh, poor you, you need help, you need to love yourself. You have a lot of problems, you have a lot of insecurities, you have like many things that you need to solve, like, so it's kind of becomes like, when you understand that, it's very easy not to take things personally. When somebody comes to you and we say like, Greta, you could do it better, you did it wrong here, you can do it better, this is what you did, this is how, then I'm like, okay, amazing, please help me out, lead me, show me your way. Much appreciated. um Hi from Lithuania. Hello, hello. I guy liked me. We had, okay, I think you're saying here Lithuanian guy liked me. We had a good connection, but I believe that misunderstanding happened and he felt rejected. After that, he stepped back and started being mean. Ooh. Oof, 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 oof. He felt rejected and he started being mean. And you're saying how to get him back. I would say, thanks goodness he felt rejected because now I can see his true cards. Like, why would you want to have him back? This is like, ladies, I love it when you reject a guy, right? Like you gently kind of test and reject. Actually, this is how I test man myself. Like when you say no and reject, then you can see the person's personality, like are we toxic or not? And a lot of times guys who are really insecure and who are not a match for a healthy girl, right? We're gonna go nasty on you. We're gonna go nasty on you and abuse you because we feel rejected. And this is a guy to stay away from. And this is when you know that you made the right decision. Because a guy who is high value, if you do reject him, he will never lose his, he's never gonna go toxic on you. And when you reject a guy and he handles it the high value way, you go like, oof, my fault, damn it, I lost a good thing, potentially. But if you rejected him and he's going mean on you, why? Why would you want him back? He just showed you his cards that this is like somebody to stay away from. Why would you want him back? If you still want him though, just stay high value, and then he's gonna be mean and cold and like hot and cold and play lots of games, and like he'll obviously still like you. If your high value guys do like you, they do fall in love with you. But if a guy is toxic, they just play lots of games. They nice, they bad, they nice, they bad. They play the game of being nice, then they play more games of being nasty, and then we think for the ways on how to manipulate you, how to get things from you, or how to hurt you. So it's like you can date this guy, and by being high value, you will obviously protect yourself because you'll have the boundaries and so on. But then he'll probably fall in love with you and might be on a better, well, he'll be on a better behavior because he'll have boundaries. But it's still not gonna be like, if a guy is toxic, you're not gonna change the person, right? You're gonna be able to handle his games, but you don't change the person, right? So for example, if it's a game player, right, what happens is He plays games on you. Okay, you handle it. You don't respond, or you don't react, or you say something sharp back, but like then you'll see like, okay, my games are not working. But what he's gonna do if it's a game player who doesn't understand that he needs to change or grow or mature finally, like what he'll do, he'll just go watching more dating coaches online and come back to you with more new games. And then you're gonna be like, okay, a new one. Great. So what do you do if a guy hits you? You dump him and never look back. You run away fast and far. Ladies, if you want healthy, happy relationships, you need to be strong. You cannot be weak. Like the most important, but in order to be strong, and I don't mean masculine strong, I mean just strong as a person. Like you can be a feminine, strong girl, right? I like for me, all my life, I've been seen as this sweet, soft Greta. Oh, Greta's coming! Like I grew up with five cousins, all guys, all alpha, strong guys. Oh, Greta's coming! We're gonna play so many games with her. We're gonna tease and this and this and that. And people like always saw me as super sweet and soft and like very feminine. And I still am like that, but I'm strong inside. And you set in boundaries with people, and you show, like self-respect from your strength inside. It's nothing to do with like how many muscles you have or how aggressive you come across. It's all like the strength inside, like on the like when I go on dates, a lot of guys, we see me as very soft, as kind of, oh, kind, sweet Greta, oh, this is gonna be easy, but we don't see the strength I have inside. And a lot of times I reject guys because I'm like, I actually feel like I'm much stronger than you are, but he has no clue. That's why that is why I rejected him, because you see through the behavior, like he's kind of like standing up for himself or for me, or any kind like things like that. But sorry, I kind of went off. Where I was going? Yeah, and yeah, so but in order to be strong inside, you need to value yourself. You need to value yourself, and you need to know that you have value, and you can't settle for less. And you need to keep improving, like educating yourself, practicing, improving, trusting that it's going to be better. Like, how do you trust? Like, for example, when you start high value, it's really hard to trust that this thing will work in your relationship. But you learn that it will work by taking some steps, so okay, Greta said this, okay, done this, it worked. Greta said this, I done this, it worked. And then slowly you start to trust it, and then you're like, okay, actually, then I am trying my best to be a healthy, high value woman. My relationships are improving, my friendships are improving, people are respecting me, they are valuing me, right? But when you don't try these things because you're fearful, or because you have your old patterns, or because maybe your friends are putting their insecurities on you, like you're losing out, ladies. You're just losing out on some like really incredible things that life has to offer. Okay, but ladies, I'm gonna go because I can see I'm already over an hour. It's been a long live. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a beautiful Christmas. Um, I hope I hope all of you will get to be with your family. If you want my hoodie, chase, well, it's supposed to say chase goals, not drama. I hope you can, like, yeah. can't rotate it. I can't flip it. But like, yes, if you want my hoodie, YouTube should be promoting it. You can get it in my YouTube store. Again, one-on-one coaching, group coaching. It's all available for you guys. You can book it through my website, gretabereisaite.com. And thank you all for watching, engaging, following, for all these comments and the love I'm receiving constantly from you guys. And yeah, follow the tips, change your life, and I hope that 2021 will be amazing year for all of us, you know? Like if I could bless you all, I would, but I can't. But anyway, blessings and blessings. Have a merry, beautiful Christmas.